My name is Brianna and this is Strider. Today we're going to be doing a vital signs check. This is my helper, Katie. Katie, would you mind standing on the same side as me? That way if something bothers Strider, he can go that way and we'll be on this side, out of his way. Alright, so the first thing you want to check when looking your horse over is his appearance. You want to make sure he has a bright, expressive eyes, attentive to what's going on around him, and a shiny coat. If he had a dull coat and he looked kind of listless, like he didn't really care about the world, or if he's normally very friendly but he was acting mean and grouchy, those could be some signs that he's not feeling well, maybe something's hurting him. So the next thing we want to check is his mucous membranes. There are two places you can look for these. One is in the corner of his eye, the conjunctiva. You just pull the lower lid down and you can see it. The other place that's easier to check is his gums. You just lift the lip up and there they are. Now, the mucous membranes can tell you a lot. You want them to be moist. That's an indication that he's well hydrated. And their color says a lot too. You want them to be a nice light pink like that is. That's a sign of a healthy horse. If they were white, that could be an indication of shock. If they were purplish or bluish, that could be lack of oxygen. If they are yellow, that could indicate liver problems or jaundice. And if they're brick red, that could be a sign of a fever or an infection. Another thing you want to check while you're up here is capillary refill time. This is just, you pull the lip up, press your thumb on his gums for a second and pull away, and when you first pull your thumb away, it's going to be lighter. You want that light spot to fill in within 1 to 2 seconds, back to regular color. If it takes longer than that, he could be dehydrated or his blood flow might not be where it should be. So the next thing we're going to check is a skin pinch test. What you do is you just pinch a little bit of skin, pull it away from the neck, and let go. You want it to be completely flat within 1 to 2 seconds. If it takes longer than that, it could mean your horse is dehydrated. One thing to take into consideration when doing this test is that older horses have looser skin, so it might stay tented longer. However, if this is the case, you can try to do it on their shoulder where the skin isn't as loose. The pulse, normal pulse for a horse is 32 to 44 beats per minute. Oh. The best place to check is the maxillary artery, which is right under here along his, the inside of his cheekbone. Oh. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find it and then have Katie count for 15 seconds, and I'll see how many beats I get in that amount of time. Oh. Okay.
Let's go. Go. Stop.
Okay, I got 8 in that amount of time. 8 times 4 gives me a count of 32, which is within the normal range. Another place you can check for this is behind the knee and a little bit to the inside. You can feel it there sometimes. I'm also going to talk about the digital pulse, which is down here by the fetlock. Now really, you don't want to feel that at all. If you can feel it, that could be a sign that he has an abscess in his foot, or it could also be possible laminitis. The next thing I'm going to check is Strider's heart rate. I'm going to do this by using a stethoscope, and the heart rate can be found on the abdominal wall right behind his elbow. So once I find it, I'm going to have Katie start a timer for me. Okay?
Stop.
So I got a count of 9 there. That gives him a rate of 36, which is still within the normal range. Now, you want to keep in mind something that could elevate his heart rate and his pulse could be turnout time if he gets excited out there, or exercise. So sometimes you need to keep in mind what the horse has been doing. If he's been running around, his heart rate and pulse could be elevated, but he might still be perfectly healthy. The next thing I'm going to check is his respiration. I'm going to do this by watching his flank. You can also watch their nostrils, but that's a little not as reliable, because if he smells something funny, he might flare his nostrils and you could lose your count. So I'm also going to put my hand on his side so that I can feel when he takes a breath. Okay, Katie? Okay, so I got a count of 4 there. Again, multiply that by 4. That gives me 16, which is within the normal range of 8 to 16. Again, turnout or exercise can also raise that. So the next thing I'm going to check is his gut sounds. There are 4 quadrants that you need to check, upper and lower on both sides. To check this, I'm going to just place my ear on those quadrants. I'm also going to place my hand on his back leg so I can feel what he's doing, and if he feels like he's going to kick, I can get out of the way. So I heard some gurgles there. There's some gurgles there as well. I'm going to scooch his butt over, Katie. So the reason you want to check all 4 quadrants is 3 of them might be fine, but the 4th one might be stopped up, indicating colic or another problem. Ho, Strider. Got some gurgles there. And some there as well. What you're listening for is a frequent gurgle. You don't want continuous, and you don't want a pinging sound or a sound like water dripping. That could indicate a form of colic. Next, I'm going to take his temperature. And there are 2 different thermometers you can use when taking temperature. The first is a mercury thermometer, which I'm not going to use because it takes longer. You want to make sure it has a string on the end that you can tie to their tail so it doesn't get lost if it happens to go all the way in. And the other thing you want to remember when using a mercury thermometer is to shake it down below 98. That way you get an accurate reading. For this video, I'm going to use a digital thermometer. And when using any kind of thermometer, mercury or digital, you want to make sure you insert it into some petroleum jelly or Vaseline. This lubricates the thermometer and makes it easier to get inside. Thanks, Katie. Okay, so to do this, you want to put your hand below the horse's tail, grab it, pull it up gently, and then stick the thermometer into the horse's rectum. Then turn it on. Then you just wait for it to beep. Okay, so I got 99, which is a little below the normal average of 99.5 to 101.5. This could be because it's a little cooler outside. Again, same thing applies as with the heart rate and pulse. If they've been exercised or running around, that could elevate their temperature as well. So it appears that Strider is a very healthy horse. He's also a little bit anxious from standing still so long.